Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to work with Target Designer in Power Center. Target Designer will allow you to create the definition of your target in Informatica. Like it's going to allow you to create the definition of your relational table, flat file, XML, etc. And it allows you to create much more complex target definitions. Before I tell you how to create the target definition, let me tell you where exactly in the process of mapping building the target definition will be created. Okay. From this slide, we can see that there are three main steps involved in creating a mapping. The first step is importing the source definition, wherein you import the definition of your data sources into Informatica using source analyzer. The second step will be creation of the target schema, and here for this step we'll be using target designer, and you will be defining the definition of your targets. And once you have the source and target, you can create the mapping to define the logic to move data from your sources and target. Okay, so that means the target design will be used in the second phase of the mapping building process. Today I'll be showing how to create a target definition manually and create a physical target in database and import a target definition from the database and create a target definition from existing source definition. Okay, let's go to Power Center Designer and get connected to the repository using a user ID and password. And now open the folder wherein you need to create your target definition. Okay, and navigate to the target designer. You can navigate to the target designer by clicking the target designer menu just above the workspace, or you can go to the tool and choose the target designer. Okay, and if you see at the bottom, you can see workbook view. You can choose the workbook view from here, view menu, and you can choose the workbook view from here. Okay, so the workbook view will allow you to get a clear picture about on which folder and which tool you exactly working on. Okay, so from here you can see that you are clearly working on the student folder, and you can see from this icon you can see that it's a target designer. Now let's create the target definition manually. Okay, so I already have a target definition which I need to create. Like I need to create an employee table using employee ID, department ID, last name, and couple of other columns. I do not have this target definition in the relation table, so I am going to create that manually in Power Center. Okay, so for that, now let's go to target menu, and before that, the target menu is going to be available only if you have the target designer open. So go to the target menu and click on create. It's going to ask you for your target table name. I'm going to give it employee. Okay, and here it's going to ask you what type of database on which you need to create this target definition. Since I have the target as Microsoft SQL Server, I'm going to choose that. If you have any other type, you'll be able to choose it from here. Like if you have Oracle or any other type of database, relational database, you'll be able to choose that from here. Okay, once you choose that, just click on create and done. Now you can see that the target definition is created but with no columns. So let's go to right click and edit, and if you want to give some information like the table description, some you can give it here. Now go to the columns tab. This is the place where you can create your columns in the table. Now click on this add new column menu. So it's going to allow you to create one column here. So you can type in the column names here. The column name, let me go. Column name is employee ID. Okay, and the data type is going to be decimal. Okay, let me choose from the drop down. It's decimal, and the length is 28, and the scale is 0. Okay, and it's a not null column, and it's a primary key column. To add the next column, just click on the add new column or icon. It will show you one more new column. Type in your column name. It's a department ID. You can copy that column name from here You can directly paste it here. Okay, and the data type is decimal again. You can choose it from the drop down menu. So we have a list of data type based on the database you have chosen. So let me take the decimal again, length is 28 again, scale is 0. Okay, that's not a key. And again click on here, add a new column. The next column is last name. Copy the column name from here, paste it here. It's a varchar and with a length 30. It's again a not null column, just like the department ID also is not null column. And like that you can keep typing the column names, and if you want to give a description about the column, you can give the description here as well. Okay, so I have typed in all the column names, chosen the data type, precision, scale, and the column is nullable, and what if the column is a key type. So everything has been keyed in, and I can just click apply. Okay, so click OK, and now you can see that the target definition has been created in Power Center. Next, I'm going to show you how to create the physical target in database. Okay. So just create the table employee from the Power Center Designer, but this table doesn't exist in the SQL Server database. So I'm going to create the definition of the employee table in SQL Server. Okay. For that, let's go to the target menu and choose the generate SQL option. Okay, once you choose that, it's going to ask you like, are you want to create the SQL for all the tables or only the selected tables. I'm going to choose all the tables, and it's going to ask you like, do you want to create a table, you want to create the primary key, foreign key, do you want to include a drop table option in the SQL. Okay, so let's get the SQL generated. Okay, it's going to generate the SQL, you can just click on generate SQL option, and if you want to see the SQL which is generated just done, you can click on the edit SQL file. Okay, now you can see that it has included the drop table option, it has included the create table, it has included the add the primary key option. Since we have not defined the foreign key, that is not included in the script as well. And next option is to execute the SQL file. Before executing that, let me get connected to the database. Okay, for that I'm going to choose the database connection which I have already created. I'm going to give the user ID and password. Once you give the user ID and password, just get connect. Okay, and it's connected, and let's say execute. Okay, and it has executed successfully. You can see that here in the output window. So it has created the table, it has dropped the table, created the table, and altered the table to add the primary key. Okay, now I am going to show you the third option, import the target definition from the database. In this option, I have a target table which is already there in the relation table. I am just going to import that. Okay, for importing the target table which is from the database, I am going to go to targets, import from the database, and I am going to choose the ODBC which I have already created. Okay, I am going to give the username and password, and I am going to give the owner name of the database, and I'm going to choose the table employee. Okay, connect it. Okay, just connected, and going to show me the table employee. Okay, I'm going to choose this one, select OK to add the table. Alright, since the employee table is already existing in the target designer, it's going to ask me, do you want to rename, or do you want to replace, or do you want to skip importing this one? Or we have the option to compare the existing target definition and the definition which we are going to import. So if you, based on what you need, you can choose that, but I'm going to do a rename here. Okay, I'm going to say employee demo. So since the table name is different, it is imported here. You can see that the new target has been imported with a new name employee demo and the table employee that's already there. You can see the same thing in the repository navigator as well. So you can see the employee table and you can see the employee demo table as well. Okay, let me show you the other option, the last option. So create the target definition from my existing source definition. This means we need to create a target definition based on the source definition which we have already imported. Okay, I'm going to clear out the workspace using clear all option. Okay, so I'm going to choose a flat file source definition, my store tables, and I'm going to create a target definition based on that source table. Okay, for that, open the source table which you want to import as target. Click on that, drag it to the target designer. Okay, just created. So if you look at here, you can see that it has the same structure as the source definition. Let's go edit and look at some properties. Okay, now it's still saying it's a flat file, but we want to have that as a SQL Server table. So for that, we are going to choose this option from the database type. So now it has changed to the SQL Server. And if you go to the column, so you can see that the data type has also been changed. Okay, so the database type is now it's going to be matching with the SQL Server data types. Okay. Okay. And since this target table is not physically existing in the SQL Server, you can use the same option. Go to target, generate SQL, generate and execute. So just close it, and at the output window you can see that the SQL statement has processed successfully. Okay, okay, that's all guys for this video. Please go to my Facebook page. You'll be able to get a list of training session, manual, and lab demo videos. Thanks once again. Bye bye.